Hey guys, it's Dwight. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do part 2 of the commission, the green commission that you saw a couple of videos ago. And I'm going to be using basically the same color, but I want it to be just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to add some white to it this time. And I may add a little bit of copper or like a rust color. I'm not really sure yet. I'm going to have to custom make that paint since I don't have that here at the house. So I also have a friend coming over and she's gonna watch me do the process from start to finish. So you probably won't see her in the video, but she'll be there rooting me on. Okay guys, hold on. And in just a few moments, I'll show you all the paints and then I'll do the painting. We'll go from there. Okay friends, here's a little quick intermission after the introduction. So I've already completed the pour and in my eyes, it's beautiful. I think it's a great companion piece to the other commissioned piece, that green piece. The reason I had this little break in here is that when I was actually going to start to do the pour through the strainer on the canvas, when I was setting up my camera, I somehow turned off the record button, and so there's no recording of the actual pour part. I do have the part of the time lapse and everything after that. So I decided to make the video anyway because I'm going to talk through why I do touch-ups or cleanups after the painting is dry. So this painting, there's a special need for that because there's no negative space, it's very little. I'd like the negative space because I think it gives your eye a place to rest and it's a focal point. So what I'm gonna do, and I'll walk you through it, is I'm going to take out a handful of cells or pearls to create that space. But I'll show you that later in this little video so that you can see what I'm looking at. So that's about it, guys. I'm sorry, but I hope that you still watch the video and enjoy the outcome. Thanks. Okay, guys, here we are back at the canvas. This is my 30 by 40 canvas, and these are the colors I'm going to be using. So this is Artist Loft Soft Body White, and next to that is Deco Art Americana Citron Green. And this is a custom color. It's sort of a rust color. It's brown and a little bit of red. There's my champagne. Festive Green. And next to that is Viridian Green. And then I have, what was that, phthalo green. There's my dump paint and the strainer I'm going to be using. Okay guys, here we go. Okay guys, here we are, the time lapse. It happened really quickly, all that color filled in. Now this is my new studio space and I continue to forget that there's a window behind me. As you can see the glare at the top of the painting. I'll get that down eventually. But as you can see, the color came through, that sort of rusty, coppery color came through. I think it's really beautiful. So guys, hold on, I'll show you the wet walkthrough and then we'll go on and finish the rest of the painting. Thanks for hanging out. Okay guys, here I am with the wet walkthrough. It's been actually sitting here for a while, so it started to dry up around the edges and I have my ceiling fan on. So I want to apologize that I somehow started the video to show the actual pour, but it didn't turn out, and I'm really upset because I think this is gorgeous and I think it really complements the other painting very, very nicely. So I'm gonna let this dry. As you notice, I don't know what's been going on with my pours recently, that my negative space has been filled in. I am gonna open it up. So I probably will take, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I need to have some black there. That's just my personal aesthetic for when I do this work. So I'm gonna sleep on it. I have a few days before I can get back to the canvas, but I will definitely do an explanation and a walkthrough and also do a time lapse just on the touch-ups. It won't be a whole lot. Okay guys, hold on and let's see how it dries. Okay, friends, here we are the next morning, and I believe it's dry. I'm not going to touch it to make sure. So in that last little segment that I did after the introduction, I just want to let you know that I am going to be going in and focusing a little bit on this area here, and I'll do another video clip setting up the actual painting out of some of those pearls. So I will show you up close how it dried. I've got my dark green, I've got that copper, some dark green here, and then the negative space. I really think it turned out great. I think it's a great companion piece to this one. And yeah, so I'll talk more about this down here. Some of you will probably tell me leave it alone, and I understand completely. But my aesthetic is to have some negative space. So I'll probably do an arc around through here. I think it'll just make the rest of it pop so it doesn't feel sort of washed out, if that makes sense. So hold on, I'm gonna set things up and we'll start that process in just a few moments. And that way you can see, and then I'll show you the end results. Okay guys, here we are back at the canvas. Everything is dry. Like I mentioned previously, I'm gonna go in and I'm going to create a negative space. I'm not quite sure how large that's going to be. I'm thinking something like in this, keeping some of the pearls in here and working around them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up my camera on a time lapse so that you can watch me figure out how I'm gonna do this. So yeah, we're gonna get started here in just a second. I'm gonna set my camera up and hopefully we get a great result. Fingers crossed. Okay guys, here we are actually creating a negative space, which I've never done before. So I started at the edge to start with, just to kind of give me a foundation to see how large I wanted to make the negative space. And so I started strategically taking out some dots, as well as sort of shaping some of the pearls that were sort of misshaped, made them a little bit smaller in some cases, just to kind of float in the negative space. Yeah, I took out a big blob there, and I'll take out another one soon as well, just to open it up a little bit. I wanted some of the darker paint pearls in the negative space, so I was sort of working around that the best I could. So this process took me a good 40-45 minutes because I was taking my time. I was just sort of examining the space that I had there, trying to make it sort of somewhat symmetrical, but also natural looking. So I use my heat gun because I'm using a lot of paint, and as you can see, I'm left-handed. I didn't want to smear any of that black paint. So as you saw a moment ago, I did take out that lighter color there purposefully, and then just doing touch-ups to make sure everything looks pretty decent, finishing my edges, and yeah, I think that's about it. I'm happy with it, and we'll look at the final dried results here in just a moment. Okay friends, here we are. I'm finally done. Created this negative space. I kept pearls. I took some out through here, as you probably noticed, and then just sort of created a clean edge there. So I'll show you one more time this beautiful painting in green and copper and champagne, and that little bit of white sort of glowing there in the pearls. So next to it is the previous one. I did put them side to side just to kind of take a look and see how they may look if they were hanging on a wall. I think it looks pretty cool. I tell you, the lighting isn't great here because my paintings are flat on the floor and there's an overhead lighting, and so it is causing some reflection. But yeah, that's the final product, and we will see what he says, and I'll let you know. Okay guys, just one more thought. So the negative space, I've had a lot of people ask me about why do I clean it up, or why do I paint it out, or why do I take out pearls? You know, I think I mentioned earlier in this video, part of that's my own aesthetic. I really do like that there's a focal point. I don't know, the way this painting first turned out with the negative space filled in, it might be a direction to look at down the line, as long as there's enough composition to make it make some sense. So in this painting, I just took out a little bit. I hope you didn't cringe too much. I just want to let you know. And I'm just waiting to hear back from the buyer, and I'll let you know how it goes. Good morning, friends. It's Dwight. Here I am drinking my coffee on my patio. Just want to let you know that the buyer loves it. He's also just considering different configurations. That's why I kind of added that to the end of this video, which you'll see in just a moment. So I sent him several pictures. He's loving it, and I can't wait for him to completely cure so I can varnish them and send them to their new owner. Okay, guys, thanks for stopping by.